There we go. Right, where do we get up to? We read that bit. And that. Here we go. The brass blades of the Gerbera, an elite unit of the most lethal swordsmen in the Sultanate. They say one of them once caused a man's heart to burst just by looking at him askance. The moment they set eyes on this would-be thief will be his last. If the thief is obliging enough to allow himself to be seen, or do those goggles serve as some purpose other than making the wearer look utterly ridiculous? Consulting Inspector Briarden, your reputation precedes you. And what, pray tell, would you propose? I have promised some of the wealthiest men in the realm that my daughter will be attending the festivities. To renege on my word would have dire implications for the family trade. My proposal is a simple one. Entrust the investigation to me. The thief will be in shackles before the banquet commences, and it will cost you not a whit of your precious gil. Very well. Let us see if your reputation is deserved, but consider yourself warned. Greater fortunes than you will ever know hinge upon this banquet. I will not tolerate any disturbances. Such touching concern for his coin purse. If only he could muster the same for his daughter. But do tell, Inspector, after he slipped under our noses the last time, what makes you so confident that you can catch our thief this time round? Our man may boast 1,000 faces, but he has but a single modus operandi, and that is painfully obvious. A letter of challenge, a precious treasure whisked away from its rightful owner in the broad light of day. This tells me that our thief is an attention seeker, with supreme confidence in his abilities. Doubtless he means to target the maiden using the same methods he used to abscond with the treaty blade. Even now the feed is in our midst. Having assumed the identity of someone who will be in close proximity to Miss Arabella at the feast, I have already narrowed the field. Arabella's betrothed, Vanez, I'm not sure I pronounced that, would be an obvious target for our thief. So too would be his father, Morgant. Yalto Nolto and his wife, Sainana, the guest of honour, will give a toast to the couple's happiness. Both will be standing close to the stage where the bride-to-be is set to appear. Needless to say, we cannot rule out Gugurimu himself. Finally, we have Lewinhart, a steward of Gugurimu's estate and Miss Arabella's personal attendant. All the key players, save for the Lapis Maiden herself, have assembled in Costa del Sol. Doubtless the phantom thief lurks among them, his face concealed, gathering information and planning his course of attack. We will begin our questioning of the suspects immediately. Should you encounter any suspicious individuals, you are to report back to me at once. Sounds like Hildy. What's he done now? Hildibrand Mandeville. I could smell the stench of idiocy and incompetence from a mile away. The pleasure is all mine, contriving Inspector Briarden. Forgive me for not revealing myself sooner. I was simply conducting a bit of preliminary, undercover investigative work. Yet to see through my ingenious disguise with such ease, yes, I dare say your powers of observation rival even my own. Fear not, friends. I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, investor extraordinaire, have arrived to defend the maiden's honour, as only a Mandeville man can. Are you going to dance for them? He's got a fish on his head. He does realise there's still a fish on his head, doesn't he? Good Inspector, I realise we have not seen eye to monocle in the past, but a fair maiden's virtue, mayhap her very life, is at stake. From one gentleman to another, let us put aside our differences. Yes, I would welcome your assistance in this case. Me? Assist you? Aren't you a funny man? Oh, it makes no matter. My plan is so flawless that not even your bungling can interfere this time. If you wish to assist me, you may do so by keeping watch over the suspects. In the meantime, I have a promising lead to investigate. I shall return before the banquet begins. While I know this may be asking much, do try not to do anything too stupid in my absence, will you? I would speak with you, but not here. I will be waiting for you outside Costa del Sol. Come quickly, for we do not have the luxury of time. Oh, he got a new suit on. I'm sure his suit was like a greyish colour before. You've come, excellent. With that buffoon suitably distracted, we can get to more important matters. But before we proceed, what might I call you? An unremarkable name, but it will suffice. Now answer me this, Lullaby. You were there when the phantom thief, in the guise of Lady Dorilda, stole off with the treaty blade. Was there anything about our foe's disguise that struck you as particularly noteworthy? The identical appearance, the perfect mannerisms... That is for me to know. I don't know. Let's go for the first one, shall we? The obvious answer, and yet all too many, a certain self-styled gentleman comes to mind, could not recognise a clue if it hit them upside the face. Your observation is astute. A thorough investigation of the mask left behind at the scene revealed a tiny prism sewn into the fabric. It is this stone that allows him to change appearances at will. Clearly our man is no ordinary thief. Magics far outside the grasp of the common folk are at his disposal. This in itself gives us insight into his identity and his ways. And yet this is not what caught my eye. No, from movements to mannerisms, to that utterly obnoxious personality, the thief did not merely look like Lady Dorilda, he was her. Such a feat could not be accomplished by magical trickery alone. We are dealing with a clever and thorough criminal. Not content to rely on his ample powers of disguise, he studies his targets closely before assuming their identities. He emulates them utterly and completely, and not even their closest friends or family could detect that aught is amiss. All the key players arrive at Costa del Sol 3 days ago, when preparations for the banquet began. This would afford our thief more than enough time to study his would-be target. And yet some disguises are more challenging than others. Put yourself in the mind of our phantom, Lullaby. If you were the thief, whose identity would you first assume? A brass blade. One of the guests, I will not say. Let's go with one of the guests. Would he? The guests are well acquainted with each other. One misstep and the thief's cover would be blown. No, there is a more logical first target. One would afford him the opportunity to gather the knowledge he needs, and at less risk. Yes, one of the brass blades of Gerbera. Strong in number, few of words, able to come and go as they please. A fearsome reputation to scare away any who would draw near enough to realise something was amiss. An ideal entry into Costa del Sol for our man. Deducing as much, I made a point to question brass blades in the area. Little to my surprise, I learned that there was one man who had not been seen at his favourite alehouse for 3 days past. Our thief has not made a habit of wanton murder. Doubtless the poor man is lying naked in a ditch not far from here. In addition to general security duties, each of the brass blades has been assigned to serve as bodyguard for one or more of the guests. If the man can tell us of his assigned charge, like as not his answer will reveal the current identity of our thief. Our thief would not have had time to carry the unconscious man far. I will canvass the immediate area and begin your search on the outskirts of Costa del Sol. Right, so we need to go and have a look for this. Let's head on over here. Here we go. Excellent. You are one of the less incompetent assistants I have worked with. So thank the gods, please free me from these chains before the snippers eat me alive. There now, tell me all that you can remember about what happened to you and try to be brief. We'd just arrived in Costa del Sol, had a briefing of sorts. Master Gurimu gave us each our orders, who would be looking after and the like. Had a mind to tour the area, get my bearings. Next thing I knew, I felt a thwack on the back of my head. When I came to, here I was, stripped to my skivvies. Much to the chagrin of those of us who have to look at you. You say you received orders from Master Gurimu. Who was to be your charge? My memory's hazy, but one was Morgant, father of the groom, and the other was Lalafelin, gent from Limimza. Yalto Nolto. Now try our best to remember. Was there any other guests with whom you were ordered to interact? Come to think of it, yes, there was also the steward, Lewinhart. I was to review with him the schedule of events, discuss the protection of key supplies and that sort of thing. Morgant, Yalto Nolto and Lewinhart, thank you. For an incompetent fool, your testimony has proved astonishingly enlightening. I shall see this man back to the city and into the possession of some new clothes, after which I shall return to Costa del Sol to continue the investigation. Go on ahead of me, and for the love of gods, just make sure that imbecile doesn't cause too much trouble in my absence. I shall try. I'm afraid old Hildy has a bit of a mind of his own. Oh, there he is. Oh! Come on, Lullaby. What are you doing? Ah, there you are, friend, and not a moment too soon, for I was about to commence my investigation in earnest. Tell me, did your Inspector Briarden's avenue of inquiry bear fruit? Morgant, Yalto Nolto, and the steward Lewinhart, you say? This does not surprise me. Yes, I had considered them all exceptionally suspicious from the start. Yes, of course you did. With the lapsed maiden in danger, we cannot afford a moment's delay. I, Hildibrand, shall have our thief in shackles before the inspector returns. Fear not, friend, the inspector shall be none the wiser. If he had hoped to nab the fiend for himself, he should not have simplified the task for me so. Ah, there is one of our suspects standing suspiciously under the canopy over there. Just you wait, fiend. I shall rip the mask from your face and reveal you for the rogue that you are. Oops. Right, let's talk to Morgant. Stand back, fiend. Friend. Oh, I keep getting those two mixed up. The man we pursue is a criminal mastermind. The merest slip of the tongue could put our case, nay, our very lives in danger. But have no fear, Miss Ellie. Ready your quill that you might record my every word, as I employ the time-honoured act of parley, handed down from mandible men of ages past, to reveal our foe. I can think of a few topics that would interest my readers less than your blatherings. Just catch the thief so I can have my story, would you? Don't worry, Inspector. I brought my quill and journal too. Your adoring fans won't miss a word. Capital. This is why you are my favourite assistant, Nashu. Now behold, as I ensnare our prey with a web of words leading to his inevitable demise. Good day, Master Gurumu, and a fine day it must be for you most of all. Allow me to offer my most heartfelt congratulations on your betrothal to the enchanting Miss Arabella. What is this nonsense? Arabella is my daughter. You, just who in the seven hells are you, anyway? Guards! Guards! Aha, now old ye chocobos, Gurumu, I recognise this lad. This is Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Come to save the lovely lass from the clutches of the phantom thief, have you? I reckon we owe this man our gratitude. Aye, Vans? Vannies? The phantom thief? Balderdash and rot. If you ask me, that said my betrothed must be quite the beauty, indeed, to have such rumours told about her. Perhaps she's worthy of me after all. He exudes an unusual degree of confidence for such an effort fashion-challenged youth. Most suspicious. He's a damn sight easier on the eyes than you. Ah, that's me, Vans, ever calm the face of danger. Truly is father's son. A worthy heir to the Bruguiere consortium, and a worthy match for my daughter, I must say. Yes, I foresee many years of prosperity for our families, or family, should I say. Which reminds me, Master Vannies, Arabella asked me to convey her gratitude to you for the golden clasp you sent some months ago. It has not left her neck since that day. Oh, that little trinket, 'twas nothing. Tell your daughter the greatest treasures in the realm will be hers once we are wed. The time-honoured Mandeville Act of Parley. We'd be sleeping with the fishes now, had Morgant not spoken up on your behalf. That said, nothing about the interactions between the three struck me as particularly unnatural. Ha ha! Let us not rush into conclusions, Miss Ellie. A gentleman fancies a more methodical approach. Yes, everything is proceeding according to my master plan. Whoops, I was supposed to be taking this down, wasn't I? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan. I sought only to earn the trust of the families before confronting Yalto Nolto and Lewinhart, who have aroused my suspicion from the start. Come, we have a thief to apprehend. Right. Where to next? Oh, there we go. What does Yalto Nolto have to say? I've not seen your faces round here with the East Aelinard Trading Company, are you? Well, why, yes, good sir, very much with them. Some might even say we are the East Aelinard Trading Company. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Do tell me, is the Lapis Maiden as lovely as they say? Say Nana here's no slouch herself, but like me, she's getting on in years. No offence intended, my dear. Oh, but where are my manners? Yalto Nolto are the Bruger Consortium, and this is my wife, Senana. I look forward to many profitable dealings with you and yours in the moons and years to come. Aye, I dare say this wedding and the joining together of our family business couldn't be happening at a better time, what with all manner of fell beasts and beastmen taking aim at our wares. Why, just the other day a shipment of imported foodstuffs was waylaid by the mandragoras. Nasty buggers, a lot of them. If I were 20 years younger, I'd dice them up myself and make a salad out of... You have heard of the mandragoras, haven't you? But of course, I once spent a year owning body and mind with the Fist of Rauga. My fellow monks and I would chant several hundred mantra whatsits a day. And your food stores were occasionally raided by a ruthless band of rogue vegetables known as mandragoras, yes? Would it kill you to read the Mithril Eye and educate yourself from time to time? A fearsome lot they are. Rumour has it that they'll not rest until every fruit or vegetable harvested for consumption has been freed from captivity. Why, they struck at the larder here just days ago. Our supplies were decimated. Fear not, my lady. I was able to arrange for an emergency shipment to replace the stolen produce. It arrived safely some time ago. Settle down, Senana. Forgive my wife. She's always saying how meat is bad for her figure, and with that I'd best go prepare my speech. Carry on, lads. Criminy, none of those three were suspicious in the least, but we must not give up hope, lest he of many faces have the last laugh. Where there is a will, a gentleman shall find a way. Come, Nashu, we must move quickly, or the Lapis maiden shall not be the only one to come to harm. You speak so fast, Inspector. The sign of a quick mind, I'm sure. Now, where was I? Give up hope. He of many faces will laugh last. The Lapis maiden shall not be the only one to come to harm. I'm not sure that captures the Inspector's intended meaning. But this is no time for us to be standing around. Inspector Briarden will be back any moment now, and he's not the type to suffer excuses. Quite so, Miss Ellie. Fortunately, I have a plan. Let us investigate the foodstuffs of which Master Lewinhart spoke. Should we find any contradictions in his testimony, we can consider him the prime suspect. Inspector Briarden will be back before long. Come, Nashu, this is no time to delay. Right, where to next? Inspect the supplies. Crates of assorted foodstuffs and a veritable host of luscious-looking coconuts. It appears that our man Lewinhart spoke true. Ye gads! Are those explosives I spy concealed amongst these coconuts? Perhaps I spoke in haste. It would appear that we have found our phantom thief after all. Oh, those are mine, Inspector. I was looking for a place to set them down. You see, those coconuts were looking awfully lonely. What? Nashu, far be it from me to cast doubt on your choice of hobbies, but what in the name of the 12 would possess you to bring your creations to an investigation? Well, they were so helpful in jogging your memory that one time. I just thought, does this mean you won't be needing this piece of driftwood either? Your enthusiasm is always admirable, Nashu, but in this event I fear it's somewhat misdirected. Now, set the driftwood down over there, and concentrate on taking your notes, like the astute assistant you are. I say, we are most fortunate that confounding Inspector Briarden is otherwise occupied at the moment. Were he to chance upon this scene, he would veritably explode in rage. Now let us dispose of these things before an errant ember sends us all to a fiery demise. Confounding Inspector Briarden. Explode. Fiery demise. Got it. Are you sure about that? Uh-oh, don't look now, but someone has returned at the absolute worst possible time. You two were supposed to be keeping an eye on the suspects and staying out of trouble, yes? The inspector will have a fit if he sees you here. But Miss Ellie, should Inspector Briarden come upon these explosives, the consequences would be even more dire. Lullaby and I will see the inspector keeps a wide berth of this beach. You two just get out of here and be quick about it. Quick thinking, Miss Ellie. Come, Nashu, we shall return for your creations once Inspector Briarden has been led safely from the scene. Investigation calls us, and we must heed its cry. Right, the next quest, a burst of inspiration. So Hildibrand has managed thus far not to destroy anything. Consider me something almost resembling impressed. Aha, indeed, but enough about Hildibrand. Lullaby and I have been waiting to hear your latest theories. We should go somewhere quiet and... An excellent idea, Miss Ellie. Ah, yes. That spot over there, just by the crates, should suffice. No, you don't want to go over there. But there, of all places, but surely we could find somewhere more scenic. I am not here on vacation. I am here to solve a case. Besides, we cannot afford to have our conversation overheard. That junk-littered beach should afford us some welcome privacy. Yes, Inspector, privacy indeed. Bloody hells. Don't worry, Lullaby, I'll figure some way to lead him clear of the bombs. This does not bode well. Is it just me, or is there a bit of a chill in the air? But perhaps we should go someplace warm. I, for one, welcome a respite from the sweltering heat. Besides, this will not take long. If you insist, Inspector. Oh dear. Though the questioning of a brass blade attacked by our quarry, I have identified the 3 individuals most likely to be our thief in disguise. To wit, Morgant, Yalto Nolto, and Lewinhart. The 3 of us shall split up, with each of us keeping watch over... Ahem. Are you two listening? Of course we are. Beg your pardon, Inspector. You look unwell, Miss Ellie. Perhaps you are right. I too feel a chill wind blowing in. Mayhap we should continue our conversation elsewhere. Ah, but there is no need. Wait here. I shall build us a fire. No, you don't want to build a fire. Ha! Methinks the inspector hath taken leave of his senses. The chance of locating suitable kindling on these barren shores is infinitesimal. Here we are. This piece of driftwood should serve perfectly, and as fortune would have it, I just happen to have a flintstone on my person. Oh dear. Yeah, back away rather quickly. There is no cause for alarm. 'Tis not blood that courses through the inspector's veins, but ice. I could not fathom a series of events that would lead such a calm and composed individual to lose his firm grip on that fiery torch. Remarkable insight, Inspector. I must record these words for posterity. Oh, it's flying. Hmm? What have we here? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan. Could this be another challenge from the fiend? Surely you jest, Inspector. It looks nothing like his usual cards, see? Doubtless it's just the idle ravings of some madman. Perhaps so, but we must exercise due caution. Ah, there are 2 more pages. Give up hope. He of many faces will laugh last. It is not the lapis maiden alone that shall come to harm. It is more direct than his previous challenges, but there can be no doubt as to the sender. But what is this talk of another victim? The final page holds the answer, no doubt. The final page? Confound the Inspector Briarden. Well, we'll meet a fiery demise. Oh dear. Oh no! Loving the slow-mo. Quick! Grab the torch. Is he going to make it in time? Come on, Hildy. Oh, he's fallen flat on his face. No way. Don't move your head, Hildy. Oh. Oof. You saw through the fiend's ruse, but how? Let's just call it reporter's intuition. Are you hurt? A ringing in my ears, but otherwise no worse for wear. You have my gratitude. Hildy's stuck in the sand again. Hildibrand Mandeville, were you able to learn aught of the fiend who made this ignoble attempt on my life? I exhausted every effort, Inspector, yet I fear our quarry proves ever elusive. Excellent. I might have died of shock if you had. At any rate, our foe has revealed himself as no mere thief, but a madman who will resort to cold-blooded murder. We must redouble our vigilance, lest the others come to harm. Vigilance, yes, vigilance is the order of the day. What in the name of the gods, Thal's teeth? Those vegetables cost a fortune, and they're ruined, ruined! Agent of inquiry, more like agent of injury and incompetence. You are to replace the supplies that you destroyed before the banquet begins, or I will see the entire lot of you rot in jail. Right, off we go again. Speak with the Lewinhart. What was that terrible explosion coming from the beach? Is everyone safe? Fear not, the fiend's artless attempt on my life has been thwarted. Sadly, your food supply did not escape unscathed. Master Kagurimu bids that the damaged ingredients be replaced with all speed. Good goods? Gods, this is no thief, this is a madman. As for replacing the ingredients, I fear that will prove a difficult task. Those crates contain imported vegetables of considerable rarity, you see. Vegetables that are in particularly short supply these days. What with the mandragoras at large, even if I were to place the order immediately, it would likely take days to arrive. The mandragoras? I have heard of that fell band. Tell me, what manner of vegetables did they steal? The rarest was an import from the Far East. I do not recall the name, but it was very closely resembled the Eorzean dragon pepper, save for its colour, which was a deep purple. Methinks thou dost worry too much, Master Lewinhart. Our course of action is clear. We need only storm into the den of those overgrown weeds, and steal your precious purple dragon peppers right back. I would advise against that, Inspector. These are no ordinary mandragoras, but rather a bloodthirsty band of killers. Given succulent flesh, even the brass blades of the Gerbera proved unable to resist them. Oh, a formidable foe indeed! Were only there a brave soul in our midst, that with a want for taking on fearsome enemies, with not a shred of concern for her own well-being. I hope you're not talking about me. Oh dear. Your eyes, friend, they speak to me. They say, I say, yes, I shall vanquish these rogue vegetables and deliver the purloined goods back to their rightful owner. No, that's not what they say at all. You are truly a godsend, adventurer. One Sundimal of the Yellow Jackets has been charged with defending the roads from the mandragoras. If anyone have knowledge of their current whereabouts, it would be him. Without those ingredients, Master Kagurimu is like to cook me instead. Please, friend, you're my only hope. A gentleman would never let a lady face danger alone. Let us away to Limsa together. Okay. To Limsa it is. wondering if the mandragoras are actual mandragoras or whether they are just called the mandragoras. Alright. Where do I need to go to? Oh, it's over there. If you've come for the mandragoras, I fear you're half a bell too late. As were we, blast it all. To hear the poor merchant tell it, no sooner had he opened his cargo hold to check on a shipment of vegetables than did an onion turn on him, screeching bloody murder. Fled his own vessel in sheer terror, he did. By the time he came to his senses, it had set sail without him. The merchant left for Aleport, hoping to recoup his losses. If you've a mind to go after the culprits, you might lend an ear to his sad tale. Aha! Is the thrill of the chase not invigorating, friend? The ferry docked by Fisherman's Bottom will carry us to Aleport. Let us be swiftly on our way. Right. Off to Aleport we go. Right, let's talk to the tiny trader. Eek! Don't sneak up on me like that. I thought you were a feral turnip, a murderous eggplant or something like that. Think I jest, do ya? You'd be singing a different tune if a shot of tomato juice almost took out your eye, as it did mine. My eye! By the time I regained me wits, they'd already set sail with me ship and me livelihood. I'm ruined, ruined! If I never see another bleeding onion till the end of my days, it'll be too soon. Right, that's that quest complete. I think I'm going to take a break there and probably continue with this with Hildibrand Questline next Sunday. And I'll probably be back later after dinner with some more Dragon Quest builders. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you all later.